First thing we're going to do is remove both rear wheels and tires. Then we're going to come on in here and remove our radius arm bolts from our bearing carrier. You want to remove the upper and the lower as well. Once you got your nuts off, pick up on the trailing arm, slide the bolts out. Just let your radius arms hang. Pull your trailing arm out enough so you can remove the upper. Let it hang as well. Repeat these steps for the opposite side. Once you got all your radius arms disconnected from your bearing carrier on both sides, you're going to want to remove the 4 bolts securing the radius arm to the frame of the machine. Once you've removed all the nuts securing the radius arms to the frame of the machine, you want to go ahead and remove the radius arms and backing plate, but you want to be sure that you keep the upper radius arms separate from the lower radius arms. We have our factory lower radius arms and our new billet aluminum hex radius arms. And over here, we have our factory upper radius arms and our billet aluminum hex. What we're gonna do is take an eye-to-eye measurement on the factory radius arms. We're gonna apply that measurement to our new billet aluminum radius arms. You're gonna wanna do it from the center of the hole. The center of the hole. Looks like we're right at 25. We're gonna go ahead and make sure these should be preset, but we're just gonna double check. That one's good to go. Let's check this one here. Center to center, 25. This one should be 24 1/4, but let's check it. Right at 24 1/4. We are right at 24 1/4 there as well. Let's check this one. Good. So we're good to go. We're gonna go ahead and install our bushings and get these things installed on the machine. When installing the bushings, you want to make sure that the thin bushing is going towards the inside and the thick is going towards the back, towards the rear plate. You're going to use the thick bushings on the innermost side of the radius arm that's going to be connecting to the center of the machine. You can gauge that off of the notch on the radius arm. Then you'll use the thin bushings on the outside where it connects to the bearing carrier. But for this next step, we're going to leave these out. We're going to grab our upper radius arm, which is the one that measured 24 1/4 inches. We're going to take our rear plate. Just remember that the rear plate only orients one way. It'll sit just like this right here. So we're going to grab a radius arm. Go ahead and stick your hardware all the way through. Slide it through the bushing. Slide it to the hole that it came from. Go ahead and grab a nut. Get the nut started just enough to hold it in place. We're going to grab our other upper. Just start the nut enough to hold it in place. We're going to grab one of our lowers. Get it started. Once you got all 4 radius arms tightened to the center of the machine, you're going to go ahead and grab your upper and your thin bushings. Place the bushings in the heim joint there. Then the same way that you did to remove it from the trailing arm, slide it underneath the brake line. You're going to slide it down into the bearing carrier here. You may have to move the heim joint around just a little bit to get it straight enough to go in. Let it drop down in there. Take your top bolt, push it through. Once it lines up, take your washer, install it to the threads of the bolt, and then the nut. You're just going to want to start it. Don't need to tighten it yet. Then we're going to grab the lower radius arm. We're going to get 2 of our thin bushings again. Go ahead and pop them in the heim joint. Try to get that heim joint as straight as possible so it goes in the bearing carrier nice and easy. Slide it in where it was originally. And grab your lower bolt. Go ahead and put your washer on. Then your nut. And you want to repeat these steps for the opposite side. Now that all the hardware is fully tightened, we're going to go ahead and confirm our camber adjustment. So we're going to go ahead and loosen our jam nuts. They should be hand tight. Then we're going to lower the machine down on jack stands to compress the suspension. We're going to take an angle finder and see what the camber's set at right now. You're going to take the angle finder and stick it on the rotor. And let's see. Looks like we're at about +1. So what we're going to do is, since we have the billet hex aluminum radius arms, we got both of our jam nuts loose. We're going to go ahead and screw the lower outward. Each complete turn is going to be a ½ degree. So we're going to go ahead and make 3 complete turns. We're going to try to be in the -1.5, -2 range. All right, right there. We'll come out here and we'll check it again. Still need to go a little bit more. And also what you can do, if you realize that you're making a bunch of turns on your lower radius arm, you can come up to the top and screw it inward, and that's going to pull the top of the rotor in. So it's going to give us our negative camber we're looking for. So right there, we're right at -1. So we're going to go ahead and call that good. Like I said, we're looking for a -1, -2 range. We're going to go ahead and tighten down our jam nuts on both sides. You want to make sure you tighten those up nice and tight. And we're going to repeat the steps on the opposite side to achieve that camber. Now reinstall your wheels and tires and you're ready to ride. And that's how super easy it is to install these billet radius arms on this Polaris RZR Turbo. For more information on these radius arms or any of SuperATV's great products, give us a call at 855-743-3427 or check us out online at superatv.com. Thanks for watching and have a great day.